Hello Python programmers. So in this video, I'm going to show you that how you can create an OTP verification system using Python. So first of all, let me show you a short demo or a quick demo of how this project will work. So let me execute the Python program real quick. Okay, so this is the GUI that will pop up as soon as the program is executed, and also you will receive an SMS on your mobile number. Now this SMS will contain a 4-digit number which is your OTP. Now let me write the OTP here. So if you write the wrong number, right, this is not the OTP that I've received on my mobile number. It is showing wrong OTP. Now let me write the correct OTP here. So 2335. Okay. Now let me submit this. Here you can see that it is showing login successful. So this was the correct OTP that was sent to my mobile number. Now if I try to submit it again, I have already submitted once. If I try to submit it again, it will show already logged in. Okay. Now this was the first part. Now what else you can do is you can resend the OTP also. So this will send another SMS to my mobile number. Just wait. Yeah, here you can see I received another SMS, and okay, so I received another OTP. If I write this OTP here, it is showing wrong OTP because a new OTP, a new 4-digit number is sent to my mobile number. Now I guess you got the idea of how this program will work. So let's first see that what are the packages that you need to install. So you need to install a few packages. First is tkinter. Tkinter comes pre-installed with vanilla Python installation, so you don't need to install that. Then we have the Twilio library. This Twilio library will be used to basically okay. So this Twilio library will be used to basically send the SMS. Twilio is an API that is used for automation of lot of things. You can automate SMSs, WhatsApp, calls. There are a lot of things that you can automate using Twilio. So here we are using the SMS feature. Okay. So simply write pip install Twilio. Okay. Twilio. Just a second. Twilio. Press enter. This package will be installed for you. For me, this is already installed. Okay. So with this being said, let's get to our editor and start writing our code. Okay, so now we are into our editor. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll import the required library, which is Twilio, random, and tkinter. Twilio will be used to send the SMS to the registered number. Random will be used to create a 4-digit random number which will be sent as OTP, and tkinter will be used to create our GUI. Now what I'll do is, to make this video as short and as to the point as possible, I'll copy paste the code which is present on this monitor to just focus more on explaining you the code rather than just simply typing it. Okay, video will be short, but most focus will be on explaining how the code works. Okay, so first of all, let's start off with the GUI part. So let me first show you that how the GUI will look. Okay, so here you can see that this is how the GUI will work. Okay, so this is the section to enter the OTP. This is the entry box in which you'll enter the OTP. This is the button which will be pressed when you have entered the OTP here to submit the OTP, and this button is for resend of the OTP. So this is pretty simple GUI and it won't take much time. So let me do one thing. So first of all, let's create a class, right? So let's create the class and let's initialize our tkinter window. So I'll copy paste this code here. Okay, so this is the class login form. Why is this named as login form? Let me rename it. OTP verifier. Let's name this as so this is the name of our class, OTP verifier. And then we are saying that this TK instance is the master of this class. So whenever we are using this self variable, we are referring to this TK instance. Okay. So so we have assigned ourself as super. Okay. Then we have specified that what will be the geometry of our kinter window, 600 height and 550 the width, and this cannot be resized. Okay, so we have written self dot resizable false and false. The GUI created cannot be resized from both x-axis and y-axis. Okay, then what we'll do is let's do one thing. Now let me copy paste the code from here. Okay. Okay, so if name is equal to main, which will be true as soon as the program is executed, this login form, this is not login form, this is OTP verifier class, will have an instance which is called window. Okay, so we haven't created any method inside this class. So let's create some methods inside. But before that, let's close this main loop. Okay. Now we have closed this main loop. Okay. So let's first create our labels. Okay. So we'll be having only one label and canvas. Now let me show you. Why am I talking? Let me show you. Okay. So now as you can see in this GUI, we have this grayish background and this white sort of a plate here, right? So this plate is actually called a canvas. So we have created a canvas here. The variable name is C and the background color is white. Here you can see the background color is white and the width is 400, the height is 280, and this canvas is placed at x axis of 100 and y axis of 60. Okay, so this is how this white plate is created. Then we have this OTP verification label, the text, and we are using the label widget. It accepts these parameter. First is the TK instance. Here we have the self. Then we have the text, which is the OTP verification text. Then we have font. Size is 20 and it should be bold. The background color is white because the canvas is also white. Yeah. And then we have placed this at x is equal to 210 and y is equal to 19. Okay. Now I have hit and tried these values. You can create on your own if you want. Now let's create this entry widget, right? Let's create this entry widget and let me copy the code from here. Okay, so this is our entry widget. Let me open the program again. Okay, so the variable name is username. It's a text widget and it has the following parameter. First is the TK instance, which is self. Then we have the border width, the width of the border, as it says. And then we have the highlight thickness. Now if you want, you can remove it here because we don't want to highlight the thickness. This border width is used to show the depth of this text widget. Okay, then we have wrap is equal to word so that it doesn't go out of our text box. And then we have the width is equal to 29. The width of this text widget is 29 and the height is 2. Okay, then we have placed it at x is equal to 190 and y is equal to 160. Okay, let's move on to the next section, which is our these two buttons. Now for all those who are thinking, let's just skip to the last section of the video, copy paste the code and run this. Now that won't work because there are a few things that need to be explained. You don't just copy paste the code, you should understand that how code works. So just stay with me. I'm trying to make this video as short and as possible. I'm also trying not to waste your time. So just stay and you won't get error. Okay, so now we have created this buttons method. This buttons method will have two widgets, this submit button and this resend OTP buttons. Okay, so these are the two buttons that I've created on Paint because I am really bad at these things. So I've used Paint to create these two orange buttons. You can use some free buttons online, but I've kept these things simple. So first is this submit button image. We have used this photo image class of our tkinter to load this submit.png image. This is the submit.png image. We have loaded this and saved it into this submit button image variable. Then we have created this button widget. It accepts these parameter. First is the tk instance, then we have the image. Okay, so what you can do is you can either create a simple boring button using text here, or you can use an actual image to create a button. We have used the image to create a button, and you have to specify this parameter here. Okay, image is equal to the variable in which the data of the image is saved. Okay, then we have that what function or what command this button will trigger. So it will trigger a check OTP function that we'll create in just a second. Okay, then the border is 0. We can also remove it if you want, or you can increase and decrease the value to test your GUI. Okay, then we have this self dot button dot place. So we have placed it at x is equal to 208 and y is equal to 250. Once again, you can experiment on your own and create more beautiful looking GUI. Then what we have is this resend button. The drill is same. Photo image to load the image. Then we have created this button widget with the image as this recent OTP image, and then the command here is resend OTP function that we'll create. Okay, and then we have placed it at x is equal to 208 and y is equal to 400. Okay, this was the GUI part, right? Now the GUI part is complete, the front end is complete. Now let's work on the back end. So for back end, we have two parts. First part is to send the OTP, and the second part is to verify whether that OTP is correct or not. Okay, so for the first part, you need to use the Twilio API. Now I have created a dedicated video on Twilio API, how that works and how you can send SMS using that Twilio API. I'm not gonna extend the length of this video. I'll provide the link in the description. You can watch from there and get sorted with that thing, with the Twilio thing. And what I'll do is I'll copy paste the code and try to explain you a few things. So just a second, let me copy paste the code here. Okay, so this is the code that you have to write to send the SMS. I have blanked this out because these are the section in which you'll write your API key and API secret key. Now, I have explained in detail how these parameters work in my previous video, so do watch that before, because I'm not gonna extend the length of the video by explaining those things again. Okay, so you have to write your API key here and API secret key here. Then here you have to write the number to which you have to send the SMS, and this is the number that is provided by Twilio for you to send the SMS. Okay, and this is the body, this is the text that we have to send. So here we have to send a random number. So how can you create a random number? Using the random library. So let me copy the code here. Okay, so this is how you can create a random 4-digit number. Self.n is equal to random.randint. This random.randint will create a random number from 1000 to 9999. So it will create a 4-digit number that we'll send to this number from this number, and self.n is the text that we'll send. Okay, so this will happen as soon as the program is executed. And also we want this to be done if we click on the resend, yeah, the resend OTP button. So now let's create the resend OTP button also. After that, we'll do the check OTP functionality of this program. So the function name is resend OTP. So let me match the indentation. So def, and then what we'll do is we'll simply copy paste the code here, because the same thing will be done again. A random number will be selected and it will be sent to the registered number. Okay. So this was the section of how you can send the OTP to the user. Now let's come to the verification part. So this is actually fun and very simple. Now let me write the function that will check your OTP. So here's the function. So after the submit button is pressed, this function will be executed. This is inside a try and except if user enters any special character, then it will show invalid OTP. Okay. Now, if this try condition runs, first of all, we'll get what is inside this text widget. Okay. And it will be stored in this user input variable. Okay. It will be converted into integer. Then we'll check if self.user input is equal to self.n. Self.n is the randomly generated OTP. If this is correct, then what we'll do is we'll show the info. A pop-up will show up saying that login is successful, and self.n will be overwritten as done. Because this OTP has been used, we do not want to log in again with the same OTP. Okay. So once again, if this function is called and the OTP is same, so now the self.n is converted into done. So what will happen is if self.n is equal to done, it will show already login or already entered the OTP. Anyway, already entered the, what the hell am I writing? Already entered the OTP. Okay. So this is what you'll write here. Then if the OTP is not correct, we'll show wrong OTP. Okay. So this is the section of how you can check the OTP. Now let's do one thing. Let's call all these methods in our function, in our method calls. So let me copy paste from here. Okay. Let me match the indentation. Okay. So I guess these things are written correctly. Now let me write my API key and secret API key and then just run the program. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so now I written the API key, the secret API key, and all the fill in the blanks values. Now let me simply run this program. And first of all, let's close this one. Now let me simply run the program and see whether it's working or we are having any error. Okay, so the GUI is working, and let me see whether I have received any OTP or not. Okay, so I have received an OTP, and the OTP, let me write the wrong OTP first. So this is the wrong OTP. Okay, wrong OTP notifier. Brilliant. Now let me write the correct OTP, which is 4387. Okay, submit this. Login successful. Let me enter the same OTP again. Already entered the OTP. Now let me click on this resend OTP button, and let me wait for a second. Okay, so I have received the OTP again, and let me write that OTP 5806. Submit. Login success. Okay. So yeah, this was a short video in which I've shown you that how you can create an OTP verifier system using Python. This was really fun, and I really enjoyed creating this project, and I also have such projects on my channel. Actually, I have many such projects on my channel, from 2D game to Flipkart automation. You can find all these projects on my channel, so do check that out, and I'll meet you in my next lecture.